Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc. Hey guys, and good morning. I am headed out this morning with my son Jason, and we are going to go pick up a couple, well actually more than a couple, we're going to go pick up a number of vintage motorcycles. A friend of mine decided to clear out the garage. We ended up buying 6 classic motorcycles, and today's the day that we got to bring them home. Luckily it's still reasonably nice outside. It is, as I'm speaking, late fall, closing out on winter here. When you see this video, it'll probably be winter, but I'm trying to get this maybe last sort of big motorcycle pick done before the season shifts. So let's hit the road, let's go see what we can find and pick up these bikes and bring it back, and I'll give you a little tour. Off we go. Hey Jason, that's how pickup trucks are made. Okay, bike number 1 is loaded. It's a, who knows what year, Knepper. It's a Ukrainian-made Soviet-era motorcycle based off of pre-war or World War II era BMW. Jason is holding the FJ1200 Yamaha. That bike looks good on you, Jason. I just was getting the wheel chocks moved over, getting it ready. We got lots more to load. We got 3 bikes in the back of the trailer and another one here, and gentleman I bought these from is also bringing a couple bikes over. This little Honda Spree, I know it doesn't look like much, they're not super expensive, but it's only got 3,000 kilometers on it. It might be a perfect little thing for an Abigail to toot around on out in the country. Either way, we're gonna go offload. This is one of the reasons why it's nice to have a very understanding wife, because some days, oh, speaking of which, there's my very understanding wife right there. You coming out to see what happened?
Yep.
Okay, let me show you. This happened today. It's like a whole parking lot full of motorcycles. I said when we were dropping them off, I said it looks like a really diverse motorcycle gang showed up to our house today.
Especially that little one.
This is like the Fonz. I don't know who's riding that. There's some little funky mini bike, and then a Honda Spree who just wants to tag along. It's like the little brother or sister. I want to hang out with you guys. Anyway, it is a pretty interesting mix. The 2 bikes that I really wanted out of here are actually these 2 right there. I have a friend who really is into these vintage motocross bikes, and this is a really special unit. This is a 1973 Greaves Griffin with original paint on the tank, and it looks like, if you ever went to the carnival in the 80s, and a lot of the rides had that sort of metal flake paint on it like that, it's exactly what it reminds me of, carnival ride. Rare bike, made in England, made in small numbers. This was their larger displacement engine, and it was a very powerful and very robust off-road bike, and this one still has its racing lettering on it and numbers and everything. So really, really cool piece. The bike next to it is, as I said before, it's a Knepper, D-N-E-P-R. It's made in Ukraine during the Soviet era. And what they did is, right around World War II, they were provided a few examples of this. Melissa got bored. She's distracted. Are you distracted by squirrels?
I see our squirrel.
Yeah, she's clearly that's fine. She doesn't have to be interested in bikes. But the Soviets were given or had purchased some BMW bikes, and they reverse engineered them and made their own. So this is essentially a Soviet era copy of a 1930s 40s World War II German bike, right down to the engine and everything. But what's neat about these is essentially you're getting a World War II military bike at a fraction of the cost of what the real deal would be. Still neat though. I kind of have plans to sort of backdate this one. I don't know what I'm going to do. I do have a couple ideas for this, but really interesting looking bike. Next is a Maraguti mini bike, KZ mini bike, or KZ mini bike. These are 2-stroke. It's got the folding handlebars, kind of like the early Hondas, like the Z50s had. And this came from, ironically, like an International Harvester dealer. And they had bought a bunch of these. If you bought a combine, you got the Malaguti mini bike for your kids for the farm. This thing did not see a whole lot of use. It's in pretty good shape other than a few little scuffs on the tank, and kind of a rare little piece. And so that is a fun thing to have. And that should sell well. These mini bikes sell really well. Next we've got the Jawa 350 Sport, another two-stroke European bike, and the Jawas are actually very decent. This was imported into Canada when it was brand new. It still has the Canada Transport sticker on it. Very light and overall in good shape. It's got all of them have nice upholstery. Like the seats are good on every single one of them. And Yamaha FJ1200, nice little road-going bike that was a daily rider up until not that long ago. So this probably doesn't really need much of anything. It has a custom exhaust on it and very decent. And then a little Honda Spree, which my daughter's turning 14. So this might be a fun little thing for her to tootle around on. So I have to sell that one, and the Greaves, so I can do a little project on this Knepper. Kind of hard to, the Greaves is a really good looking bike and really quite rare. You know, living out in the country as I do, it might not be a bad thing to have a really cool sort of old motocross bike, but I did pick this one up with the intention of helping a friend who's really into these bikes to possibly get it. So he's gonna come by and have a look at it later. So I might throw a little polish on that tank and clean it up a bit, because these have all been in storage for about a decade or so, some of them. So yeah, quite the little collection here today. I'm gonna go grab some polish and see if I can't clean that Greaves up a little bit. Well, that's a little bit better. You know, one thing that always surprises me, sometimes you see somebody detail a bike, and this is not detailed, I just basically wiped down the tank, but never, ever, ever put Armor All on your seat for obvious reasons. And some of you at home would be saying nobody would be dumb enough to do that. But people do. I've seen it. And of course, if you put Armor All or some kind of, you know, thing to gloss up your seat on there as much as you want it to look clean, you will slide right off as soon as you hit the throttle. Very dangerous. Same thing with your tires on a bike like this, really. Soap and water on the important parts, because that's your lifeline. I heard somebody say before, you know, it's like you're riding on the equivalent of 2 packs of playing cards. That's all that's touching the road. So you don't want to be putting yourself at risk. But that is a handsome bike. I guess while I'm out here, I should probably dust off the old tank on some of these other things too, because, you know, we've got quite a bit of dust sitting on here. Make them look a little better, and then start moving things off to storage. Well, with this many bikes, I needed some real help to get them out here. Thank you, guys. Abigail took the Spree. Jason had the Jawa. Steven, the Greaves. Chewy took nothing, the little lazy pooch. Yeah. Melissa had the, she had the mini bike, but you were struggling with it.
Well, like, the tires were flat.
Yeah, they might be a little bit low. So these are all gonna have to fit in here. So I'm gonna do a little shuffling and try to figure that out. But thank you guys very much. Well, that is quite the little lineup. Feel like I've almost got my own little museum in here. But first bike I think I might have someone interested in is this guy right here. And I guess we'll see about the rest. I'll have to slowly go through them and get fresh batteries and fresh gas and make them go, but quite a collection for one day. Okay, as suspected, the first bike to go out the door was the Greaves motocross bike, which is going to my friend Dale, who wanted one of these for his collection. So I'm getting it ready for him to pick up today. I've got the other bikes advertised. With any luck, we'll see our money back on at least a few of these fairly soon. But nice little collection, and it's always nice to get things off to the right homes too. This Greaves, which is in front of me, is a ridiculously cool and rare bike. And my friend Dale has basically his own little motocross museum going. So this will be added to it. Well, one bike down and many more to go. It's just a matter now of being patient and waiting for the right owners to come along. But as for me, guys, this was a fun adventure. I'll probably start to, you know, get some of these bikes running and riding around here. but they're calling for snow in the next week or so. So that might put a damper on things for this season, but at least that's one bike out the door. So thanks very much for watching today's episode as I go out and pick up a whole pile of classic motorcycles, and always looking for neat stuff. Incidentally, if you're watching and if you're at home and you have neat, cool collectibles for sale, I'm always looking for old toy cars and nice wristwatches and coin collections and stuff like that. So keep me in mind. Drop me an email at curiosityedmonton@gmail.com. And yeah, I'm gonna help, Dale's gonna be here soon. I'm gonna help him load up his new motorcycle. So off to a new home. Guys, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you all soon. And as always, bye for now.